Well, hello, this is Miss Heard with Miss Heard Song Lyrics Podcast, where it's season 6, episode 266, getting up there. And I'm doing my second Aretha Franklin Miss Heard song lyric. The Miss Heard lyric is, "We're gonna ride on the freeway of love, and you can't stop that." The correct lyrics is, "We're gonna ride on the freeway of love, winds against our backs." For years, I thought she was saying, "and you can't stop that." And then I just did karaoke at my friend's campsite last week, and I'm singing this. I'm like, oh, winds against our back? I had no idea. So hence we're doing this misheard song lyric. It is Aretha Franklin's Freeway of Love, if you don't remember it. We're going to talk about the song, who wrote it, and a little bit of the connections, because there's a lot of great connections on this. So remember I mentioned this is my second Aretha Franklin misheard song lyric. Gosh, I had to go back to the way back time machine. And the last time I did one was back on May 3rd, 2023, season 4, episode 192, on her Chain of Fools. I thought she was singing for many years, change, change, change. Change is good, but it's actually chain, 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 which is the title of the song, duh. So we're doing another Aretha. I love Aretha. I only sing her once in a blue moon because she has a very unique sound, but this is one I tried. And like I said, this is when I realized, oh my gosh, I've been saying, "and you can't stop that." And it's winds against her back. So let's begin. Freeway of Love. It's a song by American singer Aretha Franklin, Queen of Soul, and was written by Jeffrey Cohen and a Narada Michael Walden, and produced by the latter for Franklin's 30th studio album, Who's Zoomin' Who, back in 1985. Remember that song, Who's Zoomin' Who? She was a vibrant 43-year-old at the time. I looked that up because she was born in 42. So when she was doing that, she was at her prime, I say. It's funny because I'm in my 50s, and back then I would think, oh, 43 is so old. No, that's a youngin', right? So let's talk about Jeffrey E. Cohen, since he helped co-write that with Narada Michael Walden. So I did some search on him, and he is an American R&B, soul, and funk songwriter and record producer who's best known for his collaboration, and also a prolific singer-songwriter, record producer, and drummer, Narada Michael Walden. So he collaborated with this drummer, Narada, and they've made so many hits. So one of the things is together they wrote for numerous artists like Jermaine Stewart, Patty Austin, Miss Aretha Franklin, as we now know, Shanice, George Benson, Gladys Knight, there's lots of names, Regina Bell, and even actor-singer Eddie Murphy and Clarence Clemons. We'll talk about Clarence Clemons in a bit, but I also did a misheard song lyric back, I think, on season 1 with Eddie Murphy on, sounds like My Girl Wants to Potty all the time instead of party. So a lot of connections to this. And Jeffrey Cohen is a soul songwriter. He wrote songs for also Ryuichi Sakamoto, Herbie Hancock, Rick Astley, who I love, and Santana. He also won a Grammy Award for Best R&B Song with Narada Michael Walden for this actual misheard song we're doing today, Freeway of Love by Aretha Franklin. And of course, his songs have been sampled by many hip-hop R&B artists. So for example, here's one. Criss Cross's Live and Die for Hip Hop, which is sampled #1 R&B hit Baby Come to Me by Regina Bell. Baby, come to me. Remember that? Faith Evans, Live Will Pass You, oh, Live, yeah, Live Will Pass You By, sounds like we think it would be Life, which is sampled by Gotta Make It Up to You by Angela Bofill. Mariah Carey's Heartbreaker, which was prominently sampled by Attack of the Name Game by Stacey Lattisaw. So not only is a prolific songwriter, but a lot of the hits that were written were also sampled for newer artists today. Back to the song, Freeway of Love. The song features a notable contribution from Clarence Clemons. Remember him? He's the well-known saxophonist for Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band. There's also Sylvester, Martha Wash, and Jeannie Tracy provided backup vocals on Freeway of Love. Don't quote me on this, but I think Martha Wash was the actual singer, the voice of Everybody Dance Now, dun, dun, for CC Music Factory. So lots of great voices helping this song out. That's why it's such a hit. It was released as the album's lead singer on June 5th, 1985 by Arista Records, and the song became Franklin's highest charting single in 12 years. Wow, so the last time, which was 29 when she had a hit, so she was 42, 43. So yeah, this was great. I remember it because I was a teenager at this time. And I knew Aretha Franklin from the 50s, 60s, but this brought her back in the 80s to people like me, another generation listening to her. How did it do? It reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, while topping the Hot Black Singles chart for 5 weeks from July 27th to August 24th, 1985. It says it was her milestone 20th number 1 hit on the chart. In a remix rock version of the song, it also topped the Hot Dance Music Club play chart. And what happened? Freeway of Love earned Franklin her 12th Grammy Award for Best Female R&B Vocal Performance. And owing to the pink Cadillac appearing on the cover art and several times in the lyrics and in the video, we'll talk about that, more than 100 pink Cadillacs accompanied Franklin in her funeral procession in August of 2018. So when she passed on, they had the pink Cadillacs. That is beautiful. Have you seen the video? Check it out. It's on YouTube. It was originally uploaded October 25th, 2009. So we're almost hitting 15 years. It's at a whopping 8.4 million views. And it could be going up as we speak. This, what they call promotional music video, was actually filmed entirely in Detroit, Michigan, Motor City, USA, and became one of the most popular videos of the year. So those of you that are listening from Detroit, you'll probably know a lot of these addresses I'll be sharing in a minute. The video was directed by British filmmaker Brian Grant and was primarily black and white. So when you watch it, it's all black and white. And it's black and white until the end when it changes into color so you can see her pink Cadillac with the personalized license plate that says respect from one of her songs. It was filmed at Club Tattoo on Woodbridge Avenue, which actually Aretha Franklin co-owned. I didn't know that. And it's mostly a performance video, as I said. Franklin's other video, Another Night, was also filmed there. And Freeway of Love is interspersed with videos of automobiles being manufactured in the 1970s, primarily Ford Mustangs, for those of you car enthusiasts watching the video. And then current Cadillac Cimarron at that time in 85. The exterior of the original Motown headquarters, Hitsville, USA, at the address 2648 West Grand Boulevard in Detroit, as well as dancers in and around cars, sky shots of the freeways, and the Detroit skyline and other visuals that most folks know that live in that area. Portions of the Freeway of Love video was also formed at Doug's Body Shop, located at 22061 Woodward Avenue in Ferndale, Michigan. So shout out to Doug's Body Shop if it's still there. If not, those that know it know that address. Let's talk about Clarence Clemons. Remember him? I remember him from the E Street Band. He also is in the video and performs saxophone on the song. He was actually born Clarence and Nicholas Clemons Jr. He was born on July 11th, 1942, so same year that Aretha was born in 42, and passed away June 18, 2011, so 7 years prior to her death. Also known as the Big Man, because he was an American saxophonist from 1972 until his death in 2011. He was also the saxophonist, like I said, with Bruce Springsteen and E Street Band. He released several solo albums. And in 1985, he actually had a hit single called You're a Friend of Mine, a duet with Jackson Browne, so check it out. He also was a prolific actor, so he appeared in several movies and on television, making his screen debut in a Martin Scorsese 1977 musical film called New York, New York, in which he played a trumpet player. Not a sax player, but a trumpet player. He also played one of the 3, quote-unquote, most important people in the world in the 1989 comedy From Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure with a very young Keanu Reeves. And then in 1985, I'll have to check that out because I was the perfect target market for this. He was also a special guest star in Different Strokes episode. It was called So You Want to Be a Rock Star, in which he played the role of Mr. Kingsley, a young saxophonist helping a young Arnold Jackson learn how to play his sax. So there you go. And then another connection, I had no idea, because you all know that have listened and watched this podcast, I'm a big Rick Springfield fan. And in 1990, he actually co-starred in a pilot episode of Human Target. It's a Rick Springfield action series intended for ABC. I don't know how far it went, but he was part of that pilot. He played the role of Jack in Swing, starring opposite Lisa Stanfield and Hugo Spear, directed by Nick Mead. He also appeared alongside Michael McKean and David Bowie as a minor in one episode of musician Weird Al Yankovic's children's television, The Weird Al Show. Oh my God, so many connections. He also is the guest voice in The Grift of the Magi, a 1999 episode of The Simpsons, so attached to The Simpsons too. He also made a cameo appearance in the sequel to the Blues Brothers 2000 and 1999, as part of the metal section of Super Blues band, the Louisiana Gator Boys. He also appeared in the episode, quote unquote, titled Michael's Band of Damon Wayans' television show My Wife and Kids as a musician, and performed One Shadow in the Sun, an original composition co-wrote with bassist Lynn Woolliver. He also appeared twice as the Baltimore Youth Program organizer in the HBO crime drama The Wire. Wow, he was a busy man. And then also not to, do not only all of that, but he also appeared in an episode of Brothers and in the Eddie's Book episode of Till Death as himself. Mr. Clemons wrote and published a book called Big Man, Real Life and Tall Tales back in 2009 with his friend Don Rio. The book is a semi-fictional autobiography told in the third person. Now, sadly, he died, like I said earlier, in 2011 at the age of 69, so young. And in 2014, he was posthumously inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of the E Street Band, as he should. So he is in the Hall of Fame. What did he die of? So he suffered a massive stroke at his home in Florida back on June 12, 2011. While initial signs had been hopeful after that hospitalization, and what happened was 2 subsequent brain surgeries, his condition worsened later in the week. He then died on the 18th at age 69. Upon announcement of death, this is how much Mr. Clemons was loved. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie at the time ordered state flags to be lowered to half-staff in his honor. He was survived by his 4 sons, Nick, Charles, Christopher, and Jared, his younger brother, William Melvin Clemons Sr., who was born from 1946 and also died in 2014, so 3 years later, and survived by his wife Victoria, with whom he was married in 2008. Sadly, following his death, Clemons' family sued his physicians for medical malpractice, claiming that the mismanagement of his medications led to a stroke. And interesting tidbit about this is, with the video that he was in with Aretha Franklin and all the sites in Detroit, the video set to the original version of the song. The tempo of the song is noticeably faster in the video, so that was interesting, those that caught it. But lots to be said. Like I said, I've always thought Miss Aretha was singing And You Can't Stop That, but it was Winds Against Her Back. And I love the connection with all these people, especially Clarence Clemons and everyone else that was a part of the Detroit scene at that time. So if you have any great suggestions like this misheard song lyric, just send it to any of our sites like Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, or you can send me, Misheard, just a basic email at MissHeard songs@gmail.com. Till then, keep singing those songs wrong. Bye.